Bang.
Welcome back to ABC7 New York and our live coverage of the 66th Annual National Puerto Rican Day Parade from Midtown Manhattan, 5th Avenue, filled with Puerto Rican flags. And it makes sense to show you the next group that's up, the Puerto Rican Flags Up, the mission of them, to a networking group to enlighten their community about the rich history and culture of Boricuas, which is what we're doing here today.
All right.
Yes.
They do networking, education, cultural events, and now they've got a store. So good for them.
And just wonderful. And look at this old Catholic church. I mean, I'm Catholic, born and raised. I'm sure there are so many of us that are
St.
watching
Lucy's.
this, right?
St. Lucy's
St.
is what you're looking at here.
Yep.
And their motto is "Por qué sí?" ¿Por qué sí?
Porque sí.
Okay.
That is wonderful.
Isn't that a great?
That is wonderful.
Their efforts are to ensure that during difficult times, that all are treated with humanity and respect. It's just good to see.
We thank them for their prayers.
Let me tell you about this.
Tell me.
Antonio
Tell us.
Pandoja. She came from a very humble upbringing in the outskirts of San Juan, but her desire to learn, to achieve, to be of service to her people enabled her to emerge as one of the most vocal and passionate advocates for the Puerto Rican diaspora.
Yes, starting in the 1960s, her work inspired and guided emerging leaders in New York City. She became a key figure in the fight to mitigate the educational, social injustices plaguing the city's Puerto Rican community.
Let's take a look now at Antonia Pantoja's inspiring life and legacy that continue to impact Puerto Rican and Latino youth in New York and in other large metropolitan centers throughout the country.
Education in my house, they would say, un hombre puede ser pobre, pero tiene que ser bien educado. Y tú tienes que educarte. So there was a constant education. So that by the time you got into the formal school, you had been taught how does one behave to be an educated person, even though we were very poor.
Dr. Antonia Pantoja was born on September 13, 1922, in the Puerta de Tierra section of San Juan, Puerto Rico. She was an educator and activist who was in the forefront of promoting positive images of the Puerto Rican community by increasing educational opportunities on the Puerto Rican archipelago in New York City and beyond.
I was ready to become a fully political person.
Dr. Pantoja is best known for founding Aspira in 1961, the nonprofit organization that promotes advancement in education and leadership for Puerto Rican and other Latino youth in New York City and other locations across the U.S. and Puerto Rico.
The Board of Education is a big monster to fight, and I fought the monster.
Most notably, Dr. Pantoja worked with Aspira's leadership and the Puerto Rican Legal Defense Fund to file a federal civil rights lawsuit against the New York City Board of Education, arguing that Latino students were being denied their educational rights by being forced to take classes in a language they did not fully understand. The federal court agreed and in 1974 ordered the city to establish bilingual and English as a second language classes for students with limited English proficiency. Today, the Aspira Consent Decree is considered a landmark ruling in the United States as it established bilingual education as a legally enforceable entitlement. Dr. Pantoja received a number of accolades, which included the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1996, presented to her by President Bill Clinton, becoming the first Puerto Rican woman to receive the honor.
You cannot live a life that is lukewarm. You gotta live a life of commitment and passion, a passionate life.
Live a life of passion. That we know how to do.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
And when
Dr.
you said I
Antonia
became a
Pantoja.
fully political person, what an interesting statement, because times like now, we need people to be engaged.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that.
So, you know, we're looking at, again, PR flags, Puerto Rican flags up. This is another float they have, and this one featuring more the hip-hop. 50 years of hip-hop in the city.
That's right, this year.
Came out of the Bronx.
It came out of the Bronx. I was going to say that.
I don't know if you knew that.
I'm sorry, where?
Yeah, this little borough. This group, you know, one of the things that they're really proud of, on top of everything else, is the music and what they've been providing in terms of the hip-hop and adding to that part of the culture. So that's great to see.
It's fascinating that it's been 50 years, and I don't think it's music that was intended to be taken as seriously and to have grown the way it has. And I learned recently that the largest export of the arts coming out of the United States around the world is hip-hop music.
Is it?
Yes. It's making the most money for this country.
Yeah, what more evidence do you need to know that it's here to stay?
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
And I loved, you know, as it kind of evolved into, you know, the Bronx sound and into the Latino hip-hop sound and reggaeton. Just there's so many things going on. Hey, let's give a shout-out Nassau County.
Okay.
Nassau County representative of the Puerto Rican community there. They're joining us on the parade as well.
And right behind them, you're going to find the Nassau County Office of Hispanic Affairs. Department in Nassau County tasked with serving as the liaison between county government and its large Hispanic population.
Their staff works with the county executive's office, I see, and other agencies on research, analysis, implementation of policies to ensure that the community, the Hispanic community, is afforded equal opportunity. Just equal opportunity.
Well, you're just seeing more and more Latinos, you know, on Long Island, both not just in Nassau, but in Suffolk County as well. With each passing day, they're finding the beauty and the wonders of those two counties.
Big chunk of my family is there.
Yeah.
They're saying right now, don't tell them, man. Don't tell anybody.
The beaches here are pretty good, too.
Dave, stop sending people our way. I love the music, the faces, the sounds.
So exciting.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about any other parade, but I will say this is the best. Now, I think we're up to the Syndicate Venture Group.
Yep.
Oh. Military veteran foundation that gives back to the community, mentoring military veterans, if I got that right.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's right.
Of course, underrepresented entrepreneurs. What is the message, if nothing else, from this parade? Is being a voice for people that are just not, has no voice, and you know, being there for everybody.
Oh, and we have, look at that. This is, I think, a lifetime an awardee. Am I right about that? Is that Chucho? Chucho Avelante. Am I right? He was one of PR's first teen idols, Chucho. You know, you think Chuchín, well, he was Chucho.
Right.
He was part of the Nueva Ola movement during the 1960s, and he was the first Latin American artist to perform during the Miss Universe competition.
You know where he's from, right?
Mayagüez.
Mayagüez en la casa.
I thought you were going to say the Bronx.
I was looking at my notes very quickly.
And like Cuco, if your name is Chucho, you're destined for greatness.
You know?
No, de Puerto Rico, Mayagüez. Yep. 15 album discography includes the English language recording in a little Spanish town.
We're back to just as you can see on the Syndicate Venture.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, I can never get enough of this.
It gets in your blood.
Yes.
And you can't let it go.
I can't.
No, the Syndicate Venture Group, David, again, military veterans, and how important are they in Puerto Rico?
Absolutely.
And there's no shortage of them. So many young men and young women from the island that have served in our armed forces, protecting our country and the values that we hold near and dear.
And let's give a shout out to the social media in ways you can follow it, the ways you can add to it. Instagram is @PRParadeNYC, hashtag PR Parade, Facebook, National Puerto Rican Day Parade. Of course, just come over to ABC7 and @ABC7NY, hashtag ABC7NY. And we're still streaming this on our ABC7NY.com channel.
We are everywhere.
Pretty much. Pretty much world domination going on right there. Let me look at my notes.
This is Rainbow Apparel Companies. It's moderately priced. American retail apparel company comprising of several lifestyle brands, primarily for teens and young women. What I love about it also, it's size inclusive, plus size women and children. As of 2019, the company operates over 900 retail stores in the United States. You know how many people that means they put to work, and 120 stores in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay, we're going to take a short break as we continue to enjoy the 66th annual National Puerto Rican Day Parade. We will be right back.
The National Puerto Rican